Okay, hello, coaches. This is session 5 with Heather Wilson, and this is season 2 of the Life Coaching Mentorship series, where you all get to see a real behind the scenes journey of me working and mentoring with a new coach as she starts her online business over the course of 3 months. This is Heather Wilson, formerly known as a holistic life coach. She actually just shifted that, which I'm sure she's going to tell us all about that in today's session. So, Heather, let's go ahead and start in with wins. So, what are we celebrating today?
We are celebrating that, I met up with another female friend this past week. So that was fun to continue building my female relationships. And then also just having that huge pivot, with like what audience I'm going to be offering services to. So just like completely getting a download of what direction I really feel best in. And so I want to celebrate that too.
Cool. So, yay for making new aligned friendships moving forward. I'm sure that feels great. And then one of your top goals that you wanted to work on during our time was to get more clear on your niche, who you were meant to serve. And so tell us a little bit more. So, right, you and I this morning were talking on Voxer, and you had formerly called yourself a holistic life coach, and you're shifting into women's empowerment coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just tell us, get us up to speed. Tell us a little bit about like why you're feeling called to make that shift in what you call yourself right now.
What made me want to make that shift is I was just feeling every time I was trying to work on my goals, which we set. So I was working on my offer page and my module for my course I'm creating. I just felt a lot of hesitation and resistance and heaviness, and it just wasn't flowing to me. It just wasn't coming easily. And so I started to question and dive deeper, like, why isn't this flowing? Because that's usually an indicator for me that something isn't aligned. So I was chatting with a friend on Friday, and we were talking about, I was kind of sharing about this, and then, he mentioned that there is such a field for, women's empowerment coaching right now. And I'm like, and he described some things, and I'm like, that's exactly what feels good to me. That's exactly what I want to step into. And so it just from there became really apparent and obvious that that's really the direction I want to go, because I was really, that's kind of what was coming up for me multiple times. But I was feeling like, because I've overcome these autoimmune diseases, that I need to be a holistic health coach, because there's so many women that need my help in this world right now. And there's so much value I can offer in that area. But it was really like teetering on that gray line, which came up in one of our sessions about how, it can kind of start to feel a little bit too medical, or there's like a fine line into where it's like, coaching and like being a doctor or practitioner, there's a line I can't cross with that. And so I was just feeling a lot of pressure to get people results. And I knew that moving forward with holistic health coaching, that I would have a hard time not putting so much pressure on myself to meet a certain expectation. And because I don't have certifications, I would be comparing myself, and it was just felt like a draining spiral. So moving into women's empowerment coaching feels so much better, because it allows me to bring in the nutrition and bring in health coaching and stuff like that. But there's 4 other areas that I will be encompassing within the empowerment coaching. So it allows me to bring all of my gifts into one. And it, as soon as that became obvious direction for me, the creative gates opened, and everything started flowing for me. And I was able to go ahead and create a structure, which was something I actually created back in 2012. So it was just like a full circle of, my past self had already created this for me. And so I've been trying to work around it and not do that thing, but that's been the thing that's been calling me for almost a decade. So it's finally listening.
love that. I love that you're listening and you're getting that clarity. And it's so funny, like you said, you've already created this program basically like 12 years ago, and it's just, remembering what was already there. And a lot of times, we think that we need all these additional trainings or certifications and all this other stuff, when it's like, really, you already had the whole program ran out. You already have all the tools you need to start helping people right now and helping them to get transformation.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what came to me today, was that like, I have all of this in me now, and I don't need to like read more books or educate myself more, or, do more workshops and courses, because I'm such a nerd for that. But like, I already have everything to get started. So now there's not an obstacle in the way. Whereas with the holistic health coaching, I felt like I needed to brush up on things and learn more, and really like fine tune things. But with this, it just feels like I can get started. Finally, I can get started. So that feels really good.
Definitely. Oh, I'm so happy that you're in this space. And I want to like share with our audience actually what we talked about earlier on our Voxer messaging that I had shared with you, that, right, it's okay to tweak your goals. It's okay to change your niche. It's okay. I think a lot of times we think that once we decide something in our business, it's going to be that way forever. And that's actually not the case. Like, so much of your business is going to change and grow with you as a human. And like, for me, I switched niches a million times. Like, I was a sex coach, and then I was a social media coach. I was a health coach at one time. I was a pregnancy coach. Cause like, I just like, it's kind of like dating and relationships. And you go on dates with lots of different guys or women to see like, what's your style, what's your flavor, what feels good. And so sometimes you have to do that, right, with different types of clients or niches, or try on different hats to see what feels best. And it sounds like what you were coming up against, Heather, that with the holistic health coaching and really focusing on women that were, struggling with chronic illness, like that was just not feeling aligned. And you were feeling like, oh, I'm going to have to go get a nutritionist degree, or I'm going to have to get a medical degree to really, help these women that are sick with chronic illness. And, we talked about, you really want to make sure that we stay in the scope of coaching and not show up as a medical provider. And then we also discussed that in your marketing, you're still, because you're going to be sharing your life story and talking about your journey with chronic illness, you're still going to be attracting women with chronic illness that want to work with you. But we're just coming at it from a different angle where it feels better for you. It feels more expansive, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was such a great point that you brought up today about how it's okay and it's normal to switch your niche or, around, because I know that going into that message with you, I was feeling like a little bit of guilt and also just like feeling flaky, because I'm like, oh my gosh, here I am changing it up again, and which made me feel like I was getting behind, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going to let Krista down because then I'm getting behind, because then my goals didn't get met this week because, I switched it up. And so now I got to, work on those goals and push them back another week. So it was just like a lot of guilt was going on within me. And I was like feeling that. But once you said that in the call, I'm like, oh, thank you. You just like, it was kind of like giving me permission to just like, and letting me know that it's okay. That's normal. That's fine. That was really helpful, because the perfectionist was kind of coming in at that point. Like, I'm supposed to have this figured out by now. I'm supposed to have this fine tuned so that we can make progress. But it all worked out, because to get me to here, to where this feels really good. And now I don't have that like, tug of war struggle going on that I was having. And I was like, what is it? What is going on here? Why is this so challenging right now? And what is I could just feel this big barrier in the way of me moving forward. And I had to just like sit with that for quite a while and understand what that is. And so finally I got it.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you to listening and tapping into that, and giving yourself permission for your business to take the course that it's meant to. And you're not flaky by any means. You're super intuitive and smart and wise. And right? Running a business it's messy. It's messy work, and you'll take one step forward, 12 steps back, and it's just, right, the path to success. It's like that. It's not this, not a straight
Yeah.
line. It's
Right.
a really curvy line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. With that being said, how can I best support you today, Heather?
Maybe looking into ways that I can take action right now to really move the needle, because now that I have a better idea and a clearer picture of the direction I'm going, yeah. So
Okay.
I think just
Perfect.
yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about how you can start taking action in your business to start getting the results that you want to create. So I love this. And what do you think is what is kind of the big overall result that we are working towards at this time for you?
We're working on, creating my 3-month program that I'll be taking my clients through. Also, it'd be great to create the course in conjunction with that. It should flow a lot easier, because it was putting a lot of stress on me before. So I was thinking to hold off on the course, but now it's feeling like, like you mentioned earlier about creating like a mini course, and just using that as a way to even fine tune things more, because I'll get more information and get to take my clients through that. So we'll get to learn a whole lot through that experience. So yeah, creating a course would be great if it's in the flow right now at this stage.
Something too is, can I share with you something that I'm doing in my business that might
Yeah.
be helpful? Okay. So what I'm doing is so I already have this course that I've created, Build Your Life Coaching Biz in 7 days. It's $97. It's really great because it's for someone, if they don't have the budget to work with me, they get a lot of value for under $100. And it's like, they're still getting to work with me. But I'm going to redo the course. And actually what I'm doing is I'm creating this bigger life coach certification program right now. And I'm doing it for my clients, and I'm creating modules for them each week. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some of the modules from this, life coach certification program. And that is going to be my course. Because I don't want to create two separate things. I basically want my clients to get a taste of this little mini version of a course where I'll get to advertise and talk about the bigger course that they can be a part of.
Yeah.
So I'm not having to do two separate things, they kind of all flow to each other. And then another thing that I do is at the end of the Build Your Life Coaching Business 7 Days course, I give them, as a thank you, I give them a 10% off of my one-on-one packages. So it's to incentivize them to take that next step into working with me. So I could see us, doing something similar for you, is helping you to get started with this 3-month coaching program. And then if you wanted to, from that, you could pull from it and make it into a little mini course that people could go through on their own. Or I don't know, what's that opening up for you?
Yeah. It really opens up a lot. It reminds me of what Brendon Burchard does, where he creates one video for his social media content, and then he takes snippets from that and uses it for a podcast, for
Exactly.
Instagram, Facebook, and for just breaks it all down. And so yeah, that really resonates. I would love to have a mini course for those, for at a lower price, for people to get a taste like what you're talking about. That would be really, really awesome. And then have a bigger course for them to go through. Yeah. And maybe the bigger course would be something that I use in my program too. Maybe, I'm not sure if I would do the mini course or the big course, but but
what
yeah,
do you mean exactly when you're saying the mini course or big course? Or because I'm kind of hearing you say I could do a course, or I could include that into my client program. But kind of what I was thinking is the program that you do for your clients, that is the course.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't know. Okay, so
I gotcha.
You explain to me, when you think of designing this 3-month program, this 3-month course you're going to take your private clients through, what does that look like for you?
The 3-month one. So So I've got the 5 roots of empowerment,
Mm-hmm.
is what I have. And so I was thinking that we would focus on two of those a month. And then that last month, there would only be one, but we could fill in that last, what we work on at the end. 2 focuses per month to work on those 5 roots, and take them through that. And then, kind of like whatever's left over at the end, we would go deeper into, maybe there's an area that we want to readdress or reassess or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of the idea right now that I have.
Okay, perfect. So 5 roots of empowerment, 2 per month. So that will that essentially be like 2 sessions with you per month then?
No, we would have 4 sessions. It would just be, focusing on 2 things. So we would have 2 weeks worth of focus on one and 2 weeks worth of focus on the other.
Okay. So basically they're going to get a mod, and are these going to be like modules or lessons delivered to them through like a course platform or Google Docs, and then you have the coaching call afterwards, or how are you like setting this up?
I haven't thought that through yet, but I have the mastermind access to that, which is where I can create courses on. And I did that research, and so I can have like where my clients can access it through that platform. They would just have to create a free profile on there in order to get in there, and I just add them as a member, and then they can access the courses. So I have that platform to take them through there. And they can access it.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't thought deeper into the course yet with this new idea.
What's one of the roots of empowerment?
One of them would be like mindset. So one of them is working on the mental blockages, patterns, limited beliefs, all that kind of stuff. So shifting the mindset. So that's one of the pillars, like one of the roots.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm trying to like walk myself through it. So they sign up to this course platform, they get access to this course, and then like week 1 or module 1 is going to be released to them. And I'm assuming it's going to be like there's a video, and then there's some like writing document, and then maybe some exercises for them to do mindset work. And then after that, they would schedule a coaching call with you where you could dive deeper into the material.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I like that.
Okay. I didn't know if that's like how you had it set up, or.
Well, I just hadn't really thought about all that yet, since this isn't, everything's kind of new coming through. But I do like that. Yeah, I like the flow of that.
Okay. And so then week 2 would be they're not getting another module, because you said there's only 2 modules per month. So then they would schedule another coaching session with you, and would it be to like continue to cover what they learned in the first module?
Yeah, I think so. And if there was like any goal that we set at the last, if we set some goals in the last session, then we would, address if those were accomplished. And maybe I create an assignment, for them to do in between that session and the next one. So there might just be like a little assignment that I create, or an exercise that they practice. Maybe it's like, practicing affirmations, or just writing down how they're speaking to themselves in their mind, writing that, taking a week and writing everything that they're saying to themselves down, so that they have an awareness of how they're speaking, just stuff like that. So that's probably what we would do that second week, to really like dig it deeper into them, like ingrain it is the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So really to really ingrain, the mindset.
Okay. Amazing. All right. And so then on week 3, they would get another module released to them, which would be another root of empowerment. And then you would have the last 2 sessions of the first month to go through the second module.
Yeah.
Cool. And then obviously wash, rinse, and repeat for month 2. And then month 3, they have only 1 module to go through. And then essentially you would have like 4 sessions to cover.
There'll probably be like a bonus module. I'll probably just do like a bonus module at the end, and it'll just be like a full circle thing, bringing it all full circle, like a recap of what we learned, and how far they've come, and also ingraining it a little bit deeper by recapping, because that usually like bringing it all back up and having them think about those things really helps them to implement it into their lives and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay. So 5 modules, bonus module. So 6 coaching sessions total. Okay. So, I mean, you pretty much have, it sounds like, the structure and the framework set out for this program. So what do you think is the next best step to take to start to get this, program off the ground?
Putting pen to paper and writing like what we just talked about, since this is our brainstorming session.
Mhm.
And so writing all this out, and then really then going in to fine tune it. So writing the structure, and then going in and like writing the, what I would be diving into each module. So creating each module. So this is something I could easily do.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
like writing out like the details of the program on pen or on paper. Cool. Okay. And then when do you want to launch this program by, or start like enrolling people into it?
I'd say by the end of the month would be great.
Okay. So what date is that?
Like March 30th. I'm not sure. I don't have a calendar right now, but I think March 30th is like a Tuesday. So maybe like, just at the end of the month.
Okay,
March 31st, I think, is the last day.
perfect. So when, like, with March 30th, I mean, technically it's not like a group program, right? Like you could do this like evergreen, like constantly enrolling. Are you going to start talking about it on social media on March 30th? Or do you want to have like 5 people already, or 3 people, or how many ever people ready to go taking the program on March 30th?
I think I want to start talking about it now and just like sharing my process as I'm creating it, to just enroll people into what I'm doing, and to, get them excited as I'm getting excited about it. And probably have some conversations before then, so that whenever I go to roll it out, I have some people already interested in starting.
Yeah.
So that would be really great.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And you mentioned group coaching, and that is something I would like to do eventually. I don't know if starting out, I don't think I want to start out with group coaching, but I do want to move into that. So it'd be great to pick your brain on that, because I know you've done that before.
Definitely. Yeah. And that could almost be your 3rd super goal too.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is, but what I would recommend is choosing a goal of how many spots, 1-to-1 spots you have to take clients through this. And then once you hit that and you have all those filled up, then you can maybe start, right? Because you're going to get to work out all the kinks and see what's working, what's not working by taking your private clients through this program. And then it's so easy to turn into a group coaching program. If you're like, okay, I have a goal of like 5, I want to enroll 5 people into this program, right? And it's not a group, like it's 5 one-on-one spots. And then after you hit that, then you can start telling your audience, okay, now I have this amazing group coaching program, you should all join. So right, it's like you're not like, it gets so confusing because so many times we're trying to do so many different things at once. I'm so guilty of this. And one of the things my coach has really helped me with is like really focusing on one thing at a time. Like, are you filling up 1-to-1 spots? Are you filling up a group coaching program? Are you doing workshops? Are you doing retreats? Like, just try to focus on one thing at a time so you don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, because I've gone through a group coaching program, and I got to like witness all the work and effort that goes into that, because you have to, like we would have a private session with her and then our group session, and we would be able to be in contact with her throughout the week, and we would have homework and all these accountability things. And so it was a lot for her. She had 10 people. So it was a lot, for her to keep, build the relationship with each person. So I got to witness that. So I know that I would definitely, want to focus just on group coaching whenever it's time for that, and not to have one-on-one clients as well, because that would get, I can see how that would get very confusing, or overwhelming. It could just be,
sure.
It's nice to stay in the same container, like just stay in that group coaching container, I think would feel best for sure.
So are you saying then that like you would be worried if you are working with one-on-one clients and you run the group coaching program at the same time that might feel like a little bit too much for you?
I think if starting out, at least,
Okay.
my first run through with group coaching,
Sure.
I think it might be good to just focus solely on that and kind of learn that, since it's going to be new for me, because I've not done group coaching before, so it'll be a big learning curve. So yeah, I think it'd be good for me to stick with just that during that time, and run that through, and then go on from there.
Okay. Got it. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I like that we kind of have like this bigger vision and plan to work towards, but knowing what to focus on right now. So how many spots do you want to open up for your one-to-one program?
I'd like to do 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so only 5 spots, right? And we're going to do that to create a sense of urgency. Okay, so let's see. You said write out the program. Okay, and then you said you're going to start talking about it on social media, letting people in on the journey, which I think is so brilliant and smart because people love to be on that journey with us. And we think that we always have to have things completed and finished before we can start talking about them. And it's actually not the case. Yeah,
Yeah.
the more that we can let people in on the behind the scenes and asking for our audience's help as well to
Yeah.
like create the name of the program or do market research is so valuable. So this week, how would you like to start talking about the program on social media?
Well, I've been kind of sharing, our videos on my Facebook. So that's been kind of getting that conversation started. So, um, letting people into that experience. And so I think this week I just would like to, maybe just post about just kind of what I'm focusing on. Like if there's, during the day, just kind of like, I'd like to make a video just kind of talking about what I'm dreaming up right now, and envisioning, and creating. That would be cool. And just talk about, what that's bringing up for me, because I always like to connect with the audience and like the relatability aspect of like sharing my feelings about, man, this is, challenging. This is coming up for me, these feelings. And I like to share that aspect, because like you said, that not many people share the mess, they want to share the finished product. So I just want to, get that out there. So, share my struggles and challenges, and yeah, and maybe just make a few like written posts with a picture or something. So I think that would be a good start, like one video and like 2 conversation posts, just kind of talking about what I'm working on.
Okay. So make a video, and then what is it? Is that video for YouTube, Instagram? Where's that for?
I would say probably Instagram. I don't know if I'm ready for YouTube yet, but maybe, I don't know. I guess I could start it there. It'd be a good beginning.
You said you already have a YouTube channel started, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've added anything to it yet, because I was going to create, well, I had a week or 2 ago, I filmed my intro video, but that was for holistic health coaching. So I'd have to do another one and ship that. So yeah, I was working on getting an intro video so I can launch my channel, and like actually start creating stuff for it, because I've just been dragging my feet with that too. So yeah, so maybe I'll make a intro video, just like, hey, this is what I'm doing right now, and I'm building my coaching business, and you get to come along for the journey as I grow.
Definitely. Okay. So,
Yeah.
and would you say, is Instagram the platform that you feel like you really want to create your content for at this time? Do you feel most
Yeah,
connected with Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram's my favorite. Just visually, it's so much easier. I like being able to just like see the content I'm about to, go, consume or whatever. Plus, it's easier to find things instead of like on Facebook, where you have to scroll and like through somebody's page and find stuff. I like just being able to see those blocks and like pick out what stands out to me. So yeah, Instagram just resonates, and yeah, I've just always been more drawn to that than any other platform.
It's so funny how, like, for some people, they're like, I love Instagram. And then some people are like, I love Facebook. Like, for me, I hate Instagram. Like, I feel like I can't breathe. I feel like it's so
Really?
suffocating. I don't know why I feel like that, but
Wow.
I don't like it. So, like, but for you, right, it works. And so that's why, like, I really
Yeah.
believe that you just have to find, like, this is why I always ask my clients when they're trying to figure out where to show up online. And I'm like, well, where do you enjoy showing up? What feels most inspiring and motivating for you? And so for me, it's YouTube and my Facebook group. Those are the two places that I create original content for. And then my podcast and Instagram I repurpose it. Because, like, you can't create original content everywhere. It's too hard. And right, that
Right.
is truly the secret is, and like we talked about earlier, is repurposing that content. So if you wanted to kill two birds with one stone, I think you can do this from Instagram. You could always create your stuff for Instagram, and then if it's video, just share that on YouTube right now, just to get things going.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's something you'd want to do, or if you want to create a separate video altogether for YouTube. But like for me, I really want to have a podcast, because I know that, myself included, so many entrepreneurs, when they're driving and they're walking their dogs, they want to listen to episodes. So I knew I was not going to create original content for a podcast alone. So that's where I was like, asking myself, where am I already showing up online? And I already love doing Facebook Lives in my group. So I was like, okay, how can I turn my Facebook Live into a podcast episode? So that way I can still have a podcast at the end of the day without having to create original content for the podcast.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely. Yeah.
what's resonating for you within what I just shared.
Well, I can see myself actually making a YouTube video and then chopping parts from that to put on my Instagram and
Oh, that's a
Facebook.
great idea.
So I could see me creating a longer video for YouTube. It's like a deeper dive on my
Mhm.
YouTube channel. And then like I put the snippets, I get the golden
Yeah,
nuggets, and I put those on my other ones so then that kind of seeds it to my YouTube channel. For
brilliant.
those people who like to consume more content and dive deeper, and then the ones who just like the clickbait or whatever, just like a quick, they just want to get like a quick inspirational moment experience or whatever. They get the smaller amounts, so it kind of gives people the option and the choice
Mhm.
of how deep they go.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, you get to show up on two platforms without having to do extra work, right?
Yes, yeah, that would be ideal for sure. And I learned that from Brennan Burchard. It's really genius.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So then, do you want to change that a little bit and make a video? So you're going to do your intro video for YouTube. Do you also want to do like a regular video for YouTube, and then experiment with breaking that up into little clips to share on Instagram over the next week?
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that'll be a good practice because I haven't done that before. But I'm good at I'm okay with editing. Like I can edit things. I'm not awesome as Becky, but I can do enough
Yeah.
editing
Oh,
to
yeah.
make it work. So
Perfect.
yeah, so that'll be fun to play with and learn how to do that.
Okay, so we have some good things for you to take action on this week. You're going to write out all the details of your program, and then you're going to make a video for YouTube, and then you're going to split that up, share those smaller segments on Instagram, and then also do 2 conversational posts as well. Anything else that you want to commit to at this time?
I think that will be plenty.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And what kind of accountability would you like around those goals?
I would love if you check in on me, maybe midweek, and just see how I'm doing. And then if I need a little inspiration, I'll reach out to you. And I'm dragging my feet.
Okay, so check in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, perfect. Do you feel complete for right now? Is there anything we missed or skipped over?
I think I feel complete. Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Okay, so Let's see. What question do I want to ask you next? Where do you think you gained clarity today from the session in a way that you didn't have it before?
I gained a lot of clarity on how to structure my program today, with the, like that my program is the course. And then like I make a mini course out of that. So that was something I got a lot of clarity around, and could see it in my mind, and it made a lot of sense. So, and it also felt a lot lighter than what I was thinking on my own. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I like that you're open to like, working smarter, not harder, and that you've already learned this from, I think you said Brandon Bouchard, of where like, we don't have to be creating all these new things all the time, which is so exhausting for our brains.
Oh
So
yeah.
like, right, we create like one really amazing program and then create, for your content for one social media channel, and then we just repurpose from there, and we
Yeah.
reuse, we recycle, and we take the bigger thing and we break it down into smaller things so we can show
Yeah.
up in more areas on social media, and then we can create, sales funnels as well and all the things. So yeah, I think once I learned that in my own business, it was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense now. Like, because so many
Yeah.
people are like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to, have a podcast and do an email every week and run a Facebook group and do this and that. Like, there's so many different things. And it's like, yeah, you've got to
I
just like,
know.
you got to get smart about it, because otherwise you're going to lose momentum.
Right. Right. Trying to do it all by yourself, and trying to, create everything from scratch. It's exhausting, draining. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've definitely gone through the burnout phase of,
Right.
trying to do it that way, and learn that that doesn't work. And I don't want to show up at all in that model.
Right.
So I look forward to, trying this out, or working smarter and not harder. Look forward to trying that out.
Yeah. And then again, yeah, one of the perks of working with a coach is because they can help you to take those shortcuts and share those little hacks with you. And that's, yeah, it can be so valuable and save you
Yeah.
your time and your mental energy.
Yeah. I'm grateful.
Ah, cool. Okay. And how can I acknowledge and show gratitude for you today, Heather?
Well, I would love to be acknowledged for digging deeper when things just weren't feeling right for me. Like continuing to look into that instead of beating myself up about,
Mm.
not um, the fact that I'm not making progress and all of that, because it can easily turn into that. But
Mhm.
instead, like asking the questions. So
Oh my gosh. I love this. It sounds like the old Heather, like you were saying, would like beat herself up and self-sabotage and just be really hard on yourself for being in this space of like in your mind thinking I should be farther along or I should be here, and that's not what's happening in this moment. And now you're giving yourself this grace to let things work out the way they're meant to, and then also getting curious and digging deeper and saying, well, why doesn't this feel aligned? Why doesn't this feel right? Why am I feeling pressure? Why does this feel like it's harder than it needs to be? I just love that, like, you're switching and transforming into that, so that way the inner perfectionist doesn't have to be making this, like, this journey should feel good. It should feel fun, pleasurable, and enjoyable. And so that was a lot, but I can see that.
no, thank you.
And I know we haven't known each other that long, but like I said, I kind of get a sense and idea of probably the person who you were, maybe this time last year. And I can tell you're shifting into this more enlightened, empowered version of yourself, which is beautiful, because that's what you're going to help women do through their program is, you're working on empowerment with them, right?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, just learning to trust myself and what's coming up. So thank you for that acknowledgement.
Of course. All right. Well, I will check in on Wednesday on the Voxer app, and you have a wonderful night.
Awesome. You too. Bye, Krista.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.